Yo guys, welcome back to another video from my team, Career Mode. It's the Monaco Grand Prix, the one I've been dreading since the first episode. And we're only 3 episodes in now. But if you did miss the last episode at the Spanish Grand Prix, where we had a random finish actually, so I'll link that in the top right hand corner of your screen. But it's the Monaco Grand Prix, and we're going to be doing it in Cockpit cam, because I did a vote on my Instagram story, and you guys said for me to do it in Cockpit cam as we look at the driver standings, as Bottas from DNFing in Bahrain actually came to win and get the fastest lap in Spain. We came 18th a lap down after DNFing in Bahrain as well. And now we're going to look at the standings, as Lewis Hamilton is leading the way, as always. He is, I think that was like 11 points ahead of Norris, or one of the McLarens, as we've got a energy store upgrade that has come, and our central under tray failed, so we're going to repurchase that. That's going to come before the Monaco Grand Prix. So now we're going to repurchase the ignition system from the powertrain, and that will come after the Monaco Grand Prix, but that's alright because we've got Azerbaijan next, so that should be good. And I was thinking to do a powertrain upgrade, but our department capacity has been reached, so we're going to look at durability now. And 546 R&D points, but I don't think we're going to spend it. And I got 700, but we're going to buy the rear wing main flap, which is going to again come for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix next episode. So that's going to come in 20 days. As now we go to the activity screen where we filled it out in the last episode, at the end of the last episode, and we're just going to advance time now. So we've got an MG UK durability upgrade on the way, so that has come in. Now we're just looking for the 18th central under tray, which does come in.
Developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team.
And now we've got a press interview with Will Buxton.
Thanks so much for the invitation to your HQ. Let's have a little chat about the team's performance this season. Upgrades to your facilities seem to have stalled. Is there no more room for improvement, or are you prioritising other areas?
Right then, so for our first question with Will Buxton, I just think we need to invest heavily on our staff here. They're our greatest.
Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
I just think that they've really been putting the hours in the simulator.
Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team?
Now, I played F1 2020 and I got this exact same question so many times, but there are absolutely no team orders at this team here.
You've been struggling to get points this season. What are the key areas of improvement you need to make to the team?
Now, this one was a tricky one for me to answer, but I decided to go. But we'll get there. So we've been struggling with our power units. We're not getting the most out of it, but I wasn't.
Your predictions for your team going into this season?
We are still finding our feet here in Formula 1. But we are having to get some points over this season, so that's what we're going to go with.
Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
So back in the HQ then, we're just going to check our facilities, and we're actually going to purchase something because we've got 1.71 million in the bank. So we're going to purchase the simulator upgrade, which is going to improve the second driver's pace stats, which is Guan Yu Zhou. So we're going to purchase that, and that will come on the 23rd of May. So you can see that is now going. So now we're just going to advance to the 19th. And now let's get into the toughest weekend on the calendar, which is the Monaco Grand Prix around Monte Carlo. So let's head on to the workspace and get into the laptop. So here we are in the laptop, and we're just looking at messages. Apparently that failed, but it definitely showed that we got it. So I checked it in the chassis, and it did come in. So I don't know what Pierre's going on about there. But anyway, we're going to look at the weather forecast now, and we have rain expected in qualifying. We have a 57% chance and 85% chance. But first things first, let's get into practice. So we're then in the garage for practice at Monaco, and we have the practice programs, which are pretty easy. So we have the race strategy, qualifying pace, and track acclimatization. And if you want to see the setup, it's going to come up on screen right now. I said it Monaco dry. So we're running 11-10 wings, 55-55. Yeah, so it's basically, it's kind of similar to what Jano Otmia is using. So we've got 135-116, 155, and 22.2 on the fronts, and 23.1 on the rears. And now we get into practice, where we have a McLaren behind us, and he nudges into us, and we hit the wall. And I went into that bit so hard that apparently we got rear wing damage, but I went into photo mode and I couldn't see any wing damage whatsoever. So coders need to fix that, because in the pre-build version that some other content creators got, it really showed how much the damage really affects the car. Yet post-launch, I've had this game for like a week, nearly 2 weeks now, and they've just changed the damage model completely to what it was last year. So I don't know what is going on with it, but you see me coming closer look. But now, here's our second incident of the weekend, as we're going our qualifying pace run, and we pick up a little bit of understeer there, and we hit the wall. And so that's our practice over. I can't remember if I did the quick practice. I probably did, but I don't have the resource point thing, so let's just get straight into qualifying. So here we are then on our first run in qualifying, and it wasn't the best lap, I can say the least. It's a bit scruffy in places. There is still time to find, but as now we're coming through Raskas and down the final corner now, we're coming up to the line. We're going to set a 1 minute 11.103, which puts us P5 at the time. And now we're going to go for a full lap. I'm going to commentate this one. We've got 45 seconds left in Q1. And so here we go then through the Raskas. You want to short shift up to third gear, open up DRS, and going up to the line and going into San Devot, the first corner. We're going to go down into third gear, take as much curve as you can, short shift to fourth on the apex. And then we go up to Casino Square, and you want to go fourth gear here, and then you want to try and keep it in fourth gear for the next corner. We go down to third just for that extra rotation, and we get a little bit loose there, but we're 4/10 up in the first sector as we go down into the loose hairpin. You want to go first gear, and at full lock you want to short shift second right on the apex there, and you want to keep it in second gear through the whole of this until that corner where you want to short shift up to third gear going into the tunnel. And now we're 5/10 up on our previous best lap time. And then we go down into the chicane. At the end of the tunnel, you want to go third gear, fourth gear for the next apex, and then just short shift up to fifth and up to sixth, and then fifth for going into the swimming pool section now. And you want to go flat out through there, watch that curve, it can spin you out, fourth gear for that corner. As I go down into Raskas, we touch the wall a bit there. You want to go first gear for the extra rotation, short up to second, and then you want to keep it in second for that corner, and then at the apex, short up to third, open up DRS, and up to the line. We've made a 6/10 improvement there, and it's going to put us P16, which means we are going to go through into Q2 there, as we're going to get confirmation of that. So Lewis Hamilton tops Q1, as now we go down, and there is ourselves in P16, Guan Yu Zhou in P21. So we were only 1.9 seconds off the pace, and now now we head into Q2 for the first time this season, and it's, I don't know, they've put us on, we're going to go out straight away because there was a 28% chance of rain, and we're going to go out. There goes a Ferrari there, and as we head out of the garage there, it's actually raining. So it's a good thing we went out straight away, because it's just started to start raining here in Q2, and so get out as soon as you can to get a good position. As now we go on to, here is my best lap of the weekend, Well, it's not really my best lap, but I'm going to leave you for a full lap of Monte Carlo, and I will see if we can get into Q3. Let's do this. See if I can have to the lap. So now, as we come out of Raskas there, I'm going to come across the line to set a 1 minute 15.624. It's going to put us P2 at the moment, 1.4 seconds behind Leclerc, who set his time on mediums. As now we go to the end of the session, nobody is out on the track, and we are going to finish the session in P4, and we're going to get through into Q3 for the first time this season in our rubbish car. But the surprise thing is that Max Verstappen has got knocked out in Q2. Bottas topped this timing sheet on the medium tyres. 6 drivers went out on the mediums, and they got the lap in just in time. The rest were on softs, including myself. As now move into Q3, and we're on the full wet tyres. And so I decided to add an extra kilo of fuel, because I was going to go for multiple laps. And so now we're going to go out onto the track. There goes a McLaren, just past us there. Everybody's in raincoats, even though they're inside. And now we're going to go out with 11 minutes left, 11 minutes to go. And we go out for our out lap. And now we move onto the flying lap. As now we come up to Casino Square on a lap, and we're struggling with a bit of understeer there, so to go down to 3rd gear, try to go to 4th, up to 5th, and we've lost the back end and we've crashed. We're out of qualifying 3. So the first time, as now we're going to get a replay of that, so for the first time we get into Q3, we crash. Great. But now let's look at a replay off board, and we just lost it and just went straight into the wall. So now I'm going to take an onboard. As you can see, the understeer that we picked up there. And we're going to go in slow motion now. So, did we hit the curb there? I don't know. I think we did. No, we were very close to it. I don't think it was that though that actually did it. I think it was just me putting a bit too much power, throttle on it. And the tyres didn't grip up, and so we just spun in to the wall, and that was our qualifying over with. I had to go full lock, and it was already too late. We were already in the barrier, and that's given us terminal damage, so now we have to retire from Q3, which is annoying. Hopefully we can do better in the race. And so now we qualified in P.
Let's review our top 3 today. Perez, Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Yep, so we qualified in P10 there with no time set. Perez actually got pole position by 6,600ths of a second. And I only just noticed this, but Mick Schumacher actually got through into Q3. I didn't realise that, but now we move into the rivalry, and we get 2 points over Giovinazzi's 1 point, which means we are now tied on points on 6 points apiece. As now we move into the acclaim, where we now move up to level 3, and that's basically it. But before we get into the race, only 45.6% of you guys are subscribed. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure those 54.4% people are subscribed and also turn on post notifications. Let's get into the race.
Nelson Piquet once said that driving the Circuit de Monaco was like riding a bicycle around your living room, and it's not hard to see what he means by that. There's no more prestigious a Grand Prix victory than Monaco, but also none so challenging. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco then. It's not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo, and although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Stroll, Mick Schumacher, Jackson and Pierre Gasly, Perez, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz and Vettel, Tsunoda, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen, Russell, Mazepin, Joe and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So here we are then on the grid in P9 for the Monaco Grand Prix. We're going to look at the race strategy. A 1-stop, interestingly, is what the game has given me from a soft to medium or soft to hard. I'm going to go soft to medium, and we're going to put 0.2 laps under of fuel. Of course, we're going to use the personalised thing. And now we're going, as Sergio Perez picked up a penalty, so he's now starting behind us from qualifying P1. And we've got Mick Schumacher alongside us in P8. We're starting P9, so let's get into the Monaco Grand Prix. So here we go then to 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. As we get a good start there, we bogged down a bit there. As Perez goes around the outside, and so is Pierre Gasly of turn 1. We're going to take it nice and cautious there because I don't want to get any front wing damage on lap 1. As now we go up to Casino Square. Let's think about that then. We're just going to follow in a train there, as now we go down and into the loose hairpin, which is not the next corner, it's the one after. So we go then into the loose hairpin. We're going to go for a send down on Pierre Gasly into the loose hairpin, as you can't really overtake at Monaco, but now we've just done that, and now we're up into P10 of the Monaco Grand Prix. We've got 39 laps ahead of us, and nothing much kind of happened. As we go through the tunnel for the first time into the chicane, and we're going to see where people are going to brake. We're going to brake at about the 100 metre board. We go down to 3rd gear, charge up to 4th, and it's been an okay start. We've just lost the 1 position to Lance Stroll. Imagine it was to Perez. As nothing actually happened during this race, apart from we just followed each other. As Stroll is now 8/10 ahead of us. Lewis Hamilton leads the way then from lap 1 after starting on pole position. As we've got Gasly and Verstappen on hards behind us. Then we've got Stroll ahead of us on softs. We're on softs. And Perez on mediums. So Verstappen's going to look to either do... He's going to do the one stop either from hard to medium or hard to soft. And Perez is going to be doing medium to soft or medium to hard. I don't know yet. There's now going into the loose hairpin for the second time. As take a bit of curb there. We nearly missed the apex there. Had to slow the car down a bit there. And so yeah, actually nothing much happened. As now we go down into the chicane for the second time of 39. As now we're going to look at the race restart. And I didn't have time to get the replay camera straight away, so I had to go into the theatre mode and the highlights, so which is why on the My Team car you're not going to see the sponsors. So I'm sorry about that, but I will get that for the next episode. And also I will try and fix Jeff. I know I said I was going to fix it for the second episode, but I just didn't manage to do it. So yeah, and nothing actually happened. Apart from Fernando Alonso go to P2, he jumped Charles Leclerc. I don't know where that was, can't remember if it was at the start or not. But now we're going to move on to lap number 9 now, as Mick Schumacher is going to be in the pit lane now. He's going to come in for his stop. He's going to go into the hard tyres. And now we're going to skip now onto the next lap, which is lap 11. And we're going to come in now. You can see we've got 41% on the front left, 47 on the right rear. So now we're going to come into the pit lane for the first time this race. As we've got Stroll comes in as well ahead of us. The Alpine of Alonso has already come in. He's now left the pit lane. So now we come into our pit box. And it's going to be a 2.2 second stop. Which isn't that bad, to be honest. It's kind of a quick stop. And so we get back out and onto the track. As we get quite close to Stroll there, and by lap number 15 we've already got past Lance Stroll, and we're now going to have a look at Mick Schumacher there. We go into neutral gear there, in case you didn't see that. We're into neutral for the loose hairpin, which you don't want to do there, as we don't quite manage to get it. But now we're going to move on to the next lap. On lap number lap 17, we're going to send it down the inside at the loose hairpin again, and we're going to get a switch back on Mick Schumacher. I'm going to send it down to the inside on the corner, the last corner before the tunnel. And now we've got the move done. We're now up into P20 of the race. Now we move on to lap 18, and we've done the exact same move. It's what we did to Mick Schumacher on Nicholas Latifi. We're going to try the switch back again, and this time it kind of worked. It didn't kind of work. We didn't get, and then we accidentally squeezed Latifi out to the wall. He gets front wing damage, so he had to pit, and apparently so did Mick Schumacher on that last lap. As now we move all the way on to lap 30. I can tell you nothing happened actually between those between the last bits, and now we're going to get lapped by Lewis Hamilton. And so he managed to lap up to P11 in this race. He didn't manage to catch Sebastian Vettel, but we're going to let him through on the start-finish straight, and we're going to let him through just before turn 1. And now we're going to move on to, because now we're a lap down, so now we only need to do 38 laps, and now we're going to come on to that final lap right now, as we've got Carlos Sainz for company here. As now we go down into turn 1, and we nudge the wall a bit there. Don't think they got any damage. Can't see any damage there. As now we go into the casino square, and now we're heading towards the loose hairpin. Sainz is 2 tenths behind us, but he's not going to look for the move. You have to go first gear there. You do not want to go first gear unless you want extra rotation. First gear for the loose hairpin, and we're going to finish. We are actually going to finish the race 24 seconds behind Vettel, so we're 24 seconds behind the points. As then we come out the tunnel for the final time into the chicane, and we actually got that perfect. As now we're going through the swimming pool section. We just clip the wall there, we get front wing damage. As now we go through the swimming pool section for the final time, Lewis Hamilton picks up the race win again. That's his second win of the season, I think. As now we come through the final corner to come home in P11. Just 24.7 seconds off points. As we've had a alright Monaco Grand Prix that, and it was quite boring, to be honest, but Sergio Perez picks up the driver of the day there, and pretty good race in my case. We got many points.
They've won here in Monaco with an emphatic performance and a victory they can be proud of for years to come. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So there we are then, guys. As Lewis Hamilton picks up the win for Monaco Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris finish off the podium. He was finishing P11 just outside the points. Vettel picked up the fastest lap, and Verstappen go back to points. As now we move into the rivalry breakdown, and again we tied on points. So we're now 9 points equal on the rivalry. Acclaim, Joe nearly levels up to level 6. We are level 5 as a team, and I can't remember if we leveled up to level 5 as we get $50,000 because I got damage reductions. So now we have $610,000 in the
Getting
bank.
pretty low.
Back to the Hitchhill
We
with
may
our
need to
ignition
shut down
system.
facilities for a
We're now
while to
going
cut down our
two
opening costs.
set activities to do. As no, we're not. We're actually going to go and select our new sponsor to the team. And I was looking at all of them for quite a long time, and I mean, some of them were easy. So, like, this stop was just complete all practice programs. Highland was overtake 5 different drivers. Loop as a team complete a total of 10 laps during practice. Qualifying P15 or better was Opaque, and Paynite is achieve a top 12 finish during the race. Polar as a team complete a total of 10 laps during the race weekend. Salve, yeah, and then the others. So I was scrolling through them. I was looking through the weekly income and the goal bonus, but in the end, as you'll see me pick in a minute, that I picked Distort, even though they've got the least amount of days on the contract. I had to pick them because I thought that the it would be kind of easy to do by completing all practice programs, because there's only 3 of them to do. I can get them all done through FP1, and if I do fail some, then I can just use the quick practice. And so yeah, we're going to select Distort. It says complete all practice programs in a weekend. The goal bonus is $120,000. The weekly income is $105,000. So that should get us quite a lot of money. I mean, it won't get us a lot, but I wasn't going to look for P9 because top 12 finish was going to be quite hard. Just because we've got P11 in Monaco. That's because you can't really overtake at Monaco. So we are going to sign a 56-day contract with Distort. And so now we're going to go put that on the car. So we're going to put that. So we're going to put. We're actually going to select all the other sponsors, which is Echo and Distort. We're going to fill up all the places on the car for the thing to get the money, and we're going to stick Echo on the Halo. No, I don't know which one I'm going to pick on the Halo. Oh, Echo. I just love the graphics on this year's game. It's actually like a big improvement from F1 2020, which I did play last year. I just didn't do any content on it because I started my channel like about halfway through the game cycle, so there wasn't really much point of me starting my team when it was so late in the game cycle. So I'm just gonna stick this stuff on. I'm gonna make this one black, but I might change it, I don't know, it depends. So now we're going to just have a quick look at the driver market, and I think now I'm going to do activities. So I'm going to do reaction training, sponsor advertisement, and funded team event at home. And now we're going to go to the, just looking at facilities, I think that simulator one came, I don't know, so we've got a minor aerodynamic rear downforce on the way, which will be there for Baku, and let's see if we can add to that one. So we're going to look at that. Oh wait, we can't buy it because the department capacity is reached, so we're going to look at the chassis, and I mean, we have a 15% discount on one of them, as there's our ignition system coming in. As now we have a 73% discount on the spark plugs. So we're going to purchase that for 149 resource points, and I didn't actually see when that was coming in. I think it was like after the Canadian Grand Prix, I can't remember. But so yeah, now we were looking at durability upgrade, but we're going to do any durability? I think we're going to do the MGUH, which is going to come after Canada for France. So that's going to cost us 492 resource points. And I think that's all we can do on the R&D and all the admin stuff. So make sure to subscribe for weekly following content. But that's been me, Owen for one, over and out. See you in the next one.